Oh, good morning, my Teaserking family. How's everybody today? I am now on hour 72 minutes. I'm now on hour 69. While at noon, it'll be 69 hours of fast. I started at 3 o'clock on Wednesday, and let me close this shade a little bit. Well, it's nice the sun's out. That's where you get your good vitamin D from the sun. And it's still real bright for some reason. Motherfucker, Kelly. Now, even if it's closed, I'm still getting sun. Okay. I might as well open it a little. All right, excuse the brightness. There we go. So, doing a 72-hour fast, so we're about 69 hours in. And I'll tell you, I was really hungry yesterday, and I made sloppy joes for today because I bought it before I decided to fast. And I kept thinking about that slop. I go, geez, I can't wait to eat that, which really made it worse. But it was like, since I wasn't eating, I was cooking and chopping up vegetables and getting ready for today. And I wake up today. It took me a while to get to sleep because I think I had some coffee because I was hungry, and then I couldn't go to sleep, so I'm up till 1 o'clock. Anyway, I got a good night's sleep, which is critical because that's like 8 hours of sleep that you're not worried about eating. That passes the time to let your body chew it out. Anyway, so I got up this morning. I'm not even hungry right now. I was starving last night, and I did my swim, and then this morning I'm like, maybe I'll wait till tomorrow, but I'll eat in the afternoon. But it's definitely a trip, this fasting. Now I'm having coffee. You can have water. You just can't put sugar or sweetener in it. So I got half and half and some cinnamon in it. But that's all I've had for 3 days now, and I'm fine with it. Definitely a unique experience. I think everybody should do it because it cleans your body out. I look not a lot thinner, but I look thinner. I feel good. My foot, the whole purpose was my foot is right now it's fine. It's still a little tingly and a little swollen after I run in the pool. So I don't think it's gout or food related. I think I maybe injured it, like maybe it's a sprain or something that when I work out, it inflames it a little bit. So it's more of an inflamed, swollen, but it's not swollen, and it's not like right now it's fine. And I can walk fine, which was the whole point of it, was kind of cleaning me out because it kept returning, meaning something's, I'm eating something and I'm getting this. So that's really the purpose of this. All right. So I'm going to do two things before we get into football. So the first thing is this article. So we're going to get a little economics on you. What does it say? Tesla drastically lowers EV pricing in the US and Europe. Why are they doing that? Because they can't sell them. Part of it is because of the interest rates, right? You have these high interest rates are causing, they can't make the sale, right? So what did I tell you? They made all these cars, but you can't sell them because there's no demand for them. If you don't have a demand for something, how do you make it very expensive? So Tesla is way too expensive to start with, in the middle of a recession, depression with high interest rates. Who the fuck's going to buy a car now? Then you have an electric car who nobody wants. So you're trying to sell something with no demand. As we watch Tesla go, we'll watch him go bankrupt here, right? He's going to close Tesla because there's no demand for the product. This is what we talk about in the economic cycle of malinvestments, making a product there's no demand for. So if you went back to Say's law and said, supply creates demand. So I want coffee, you make coffee. I want a pen, you make a pen. I want, you make. That's Say's law. That's a law because that's how you should do it. So with that said, what did Tesla do? He starts making electric vehicles. Say didn't tell him to. We're Say, right? We're the economy, we're the market. Not only do we set what you should sell, we set the price. So he comes out and starts making electric vehicles. The stock goes up for no reason. It's green energy. Everybody will want a car. No, see, this is where the Keynesians don't get it. They don't understand. You react to demand. You react to the demand of the public, right? What do they want? That's what I make. You don't try to make something and make the public want it. Then I'm reading in another one of these little YouTube or Google things, nobody's plugging in their cars. So there's these vehicles that are hybrids. You could use gas or electric. And they found out nobody's, if you got the hybrid, they're just filling it up with gas because they don't want to dick around with the electric just to find it. So there you go. So nobody wants this product. So this product will end up zero. And that'll end this whole green energy garbage, and maybe, all these little Keynesian communists can go crawl back under their rock or go move to Russia or whatever the hell they want to do to ruin America. So that's the first piece of business. The second piece of business is YouTube. Very, very interesting. Our friends, my friend in the economic world.
Only a fractionally held.
All right. So 106, Russia buying physical gold. I don't know why my phone just does things that it shouldn't be doing. So I advise you to watch this. This is the key. This is where our gold and silver is going to go to the moon. What they're doing is buying physical gold is creating a physical price. What do we talk about with gold and silver? We say the demand's here, the price is being manipulated by JP Morgan, and it should go, the price needs to go where demanded. What do we talk about with Tesla, right? He's trying to sell it up here, but the demand is here, if there's even demand. But let's look at like Toyota, right? Trying to sell the Camry for 30 grand, but the market's 25. Or my barbecue place where he's trying to sell ribs at 30 and the market's 25. You can't fuck with the market. The market is us. It's what we're willing to spend. And you put us in a pattern. So if every week I go buy Cheerios and it's $3 a box, that's what I pay for it. Now you try to sell it for $5. We're like, no, it's too expensive. I'm not going to buy it. Even though underpinning everything is this going to garbage, and then therefore this is going to zero. So that's why the price is going up, but we don't recognize this losing value. What do we recognize? We recognize the price going up. on the Cheerios. So you've created the market and off you go. And the same thing here. You're creating the market for you're creating a market, any market, and then you can't go with it. So here with gold and silver, the market is up here, the price is here, but the demand is here, but the price is here. So they should be even. Cheerios, that's what it is. You price at $2.50, here's your market. You go to $4, you get a little of the market, but most people don't, unless it's the only cereal you can eat. You don't eat anything else. You shouldn't eat it at all because it's carbs. All that cereal, you should never have another bowl of cereal. It's carbs. If you maybe once on a Sunday morning you're eating Cheerios or Wheat Chex, or you have a bagel. I mean, it's all like a once in a week after you've got your blood pressure, blood sugar down between the fasting and everything else. Okay, so that's the first thing. So what you have is, because Russia is doing this physical buying, they're creating this physical price. Well, we know the COMEX price is here, and my argument's been the physical price is up here where it meets demand, which is how it is in every market. Well, this is fixed and manipulated, and they're breaking it. So Russia doing what they're doing is breaking this, and Russia's then they have a lot of gold. They don't want it down here. We've done our buying. Now we want it up. So that's what this is going to do. This is going to force gold and silver to come up to here. And the demand's so strong, mostly because the price is so cheap. Once the price goes up to 20, 30, 40,000 or 2, 3, 4,000 in silver, then the demand will calm down, I think, a little. Although I think the silver demand will just keep going through the roof. Because once people realize, oh my God, silver's really not $24 an ounce, it's really 2,000. Then you'll see a lot more buyers, because they'll go, well, shit, I can't afford gold, but oh geez, I was wrong. Gold and silver are money. They are strong. I'm going to do that. So once we see that, that's what's happening. So this Russia thing, they want a physical price is beautiful, because now the COMEX price, the physical price, the demand, the physical will go up to demand, and this COMEX, JP Morgan, they can go fuck themselves, because they should all be thrown in jail. They did the Madoff thing. They're doing this, and they just walk away scot-free. Like I guess we're living in communist Russia, where you could do whatever you want, and as long as you pay off the politicians. And apparently they paid off the SEC, that there's no problem. And then none of them got prosecuted. Everybody's like an idiot. I don't know why I love that. I don't know why the SEC didn't catch him for 4 times. Well, think about it. Yes, you do know why, because they were paid off, but you're not smart enough to go there. Come on, this one guy, this guy from Boston, if you watch the Madoff thing, he figures out, he says, there's 25 things. You could have listed 1,000 things. It didn't matter. They weren't going to go after him. They were paid off. You don't get it. Those big 4 were the ones running it. And Madoff was just the puppet master. He was just the puppet of, he could smooze, was his job. They gave him the money and covered it to keep it covered. And once they did, so they were the ones who did the Ponzi scheme, just like JP Morgan does the Ponzi scheme with gold and silver, but he doesn't. He gets a fine once in a while. Why isn't he in jail for life or hung until death? Why isn't he get that? What the fuck's going on here? So we see who's really running everything, which is JP Morgan, running the people that would put him in jail. He pays them off, and that's the problem with the U.S. right now. It's too many people getting paid off and not doing their job, which is just criminal. That's the problem of America right now. And I don't know how you clean it up, because once the cat's out of the bag. So if you go back to gold and silver, you don't have this, because JP Morgan can just print money. They're the Federal Reserve. So they print $1 million and they hand it, here you go, and make the stock market go up. Where if you're on gold, you can't print. That's why they don't like the gold standard, because they can't be corrupt, unfortunately. So we will keep watching this Russia thing, but I thought it was very interesting. You should watch it. He gets a little technical. He's a banker. The guy's actually said he's a whistleblower. He saw what was happening. The silver being manipulated. He blew the whistle, but it's like the guy in Madoff. He goes to the SEC, but they're not going to do anything. So he blows the whistle, but he's going to Don Corleone, and then Don Corleone's like, "It's my guys. It's it's Michael. So I'm not going to prosecute him." And that's what happens here. So, with that said, those are my two interesting tidbits. So, as I've been saying, what the market is, Say's Law, Tesla, and these electric vehicles don't fit Say's Law because there's no demand for the product, especially if you got to charge more, right? If he's charging $50,000, $60,000 for a vehicle that I don't want to pay 30 for a Camry because I'm used to paying 24 or my last one, I'm not going to pay 30. And I did hear that price went down to 27. My friend at Swim said she just leased one and it was 27. She did a 2 or 3 year lease, but she said it was 27. I said, oh, well, it was 30 for me. Now it's down to 27. It'll be back to 22 because that's what the market says. And with the higher interest rates, 22 is really like 25. So if you raise your cost to 30 plus the interest, you're now trying to sell it for 35. You're not going to have a big line when you're 10,000 more than what you just sold them for. So as you can see, this is why I'm critical, because 95 to 99% of the business in America is Keynesian and doesn't understand this basic concept. They don't understand the recession. They don't understand no gold or silver, and they certainly don't understand the free market. And you can't just raise prices because your costs went up. This is the biggest, I find, stupidity and biggest problem with these companies. I find I'm seeing electric car companies. There's one I read, Rivian, they're going out of business because there's no fucking demand for their product. They're making stuff. So all these people get into electric cars. There's no demand. So if I see an electric car job, I don't even apply because they're not going to be around long. Anyway, so like I said, Ford won't own the lion soon because Ford's into electric cars. You stop making gas-powered cars. Goodbye. Nobody's going to buy a Ford electric car. They're not going to buy a Tesla. They're not going to buy any electric car. And now it's even more proof is they buy a hybrid and they're not even charging it. They're just saying, fuck it, I'll fill up with gas. It's hard finding, you can't just change this concept without demand. You can only follow if people want to do it. But if people don't want to do it, you can't create something that people don't want. People wanted a computer, then there was demand for it, or the phone, the iPhone, or just the cell phone. They came out with it and people wanted it. The VCR, they came out, it was expensive, there was demand, and then more people got into the market. But that's what you do. You see what the market does. That's why you do these market tests to see, is there a demand for it? I think that's critical. That's the biggest key in business is what's there. Now you can either try to do something new like electric cars or just be normal and see what the market's bearing. Oh, the market likes coffee. I'll make coffee or tea or Cocoa Puffs or whatever the market, oh, there's dark chocolate. Okay. And you just go from there. Which reminds me, I need to go to Walmart and get my dark chocolates today. So I got a whole pot of sloppy joes, 3 pounds. I make 3 pounds at a time, and I got a big chicken, so I'm gonna be happy and content in a few hours. I got to eat my avocado, but this is not a normal day where normally you see me at about noon start eating. I stopped at 6, I eat at noon. Now I started this at about 3:00 Wednesday. So I'm really trying to go till 3:00 today. I don't know if I'll make it. I don't know how critical the extra few hours are. But when I keep thinking I'm doing it for my health and my foot, I'm not as hungry when I think like that going, no, this is for health reasons. Therefore, I want to do the full 72. I've already gone, at noon it'll be 3 hours 69. So why not go till 72 or maybe 75? Maybe I go swim then and come home and then eat dinner at 5:00 or whatever. Hey, Greg or John. I don't see viewers. I see you're here, but it's weird. There's a little ticker up there that says you got 5 people watching, 10 people watching. Now I got 2 people watching. Okay. It's YouTube playing games. I noticed it was slow loading up, but and I know people watch it, so I talk as if people are here when nobody's here. But I like when people are here; we can interject and ask questions. So that's what I've been talking about. 2 very critical things. So the gold price is going to go. It's already gone up like to 1922. So if I buy an ounce of gold today, it's going to be over $2,000, where the last one I showed you was what, 1897. So here, December 3rd, I bought a 1 ounce Krugerrand for 1874. So it's now going to cost me over 2,000. So it went up $140. And I don't know what the gold stores doing. They might mark it up more, if they even have any. But it's all this Russian. They're buying the physical. It's going up. It's going. They're done with the derivatives. And based on what Russia did with this physical market, so it's by Russia buying physical gold. That's the title of the. Damn. Russia buying physical gold. That's what we've been waiting for. That whole statement right there. Yes, Bobby, your silver is 2,000 an ounce easy. I would recommend running to the store today, buying as much silver as you can, because silver goes with gold, right? Don't think gold's going up and then silver's not. It is 18. They are both real money, and whatever gold does, silver does. And believe me, the Russians, they might make the headline with the gold, but they're sitting there going, we're buying silver too. This is what we've been waiting for. This is the Black Swan event we've been talking about. We don't know when it happened. It happened last Monday. So now we got our event that we've been waiting for, that I've been telling you. Now it's going to go when this happens, and here is this. Yeah, I'll be watching the games. They start at 4:30, and we'll get into that. You want me to talk football? Talk football now. I'm just excited by that. So, because this has been long in the waiting. I might have to go to my barbecue place tomorrow. So, let's go to the lines. So I think Lamar Jackson's out. I don't think he's playing, but we will see. So let me refresh. I got to refresh this, even though I click on the page. So we got the Niners still 9.5, 42.5, no change. San Diego between 1.5 and 2.5, 47.5. Although I don't think there's much more 1.5 left. I think there are 2. Buffalo 13.5, 43.5. Minnesota 3, 48.5. Cincinnati 8.5, which I strongly say to buy some of that at 8.5. I don't care if Jackson plays or not. They're not beating Cincinnati. And Dallas 2.5, 45.5. I thought I saw on here that Lamar Jackson was out. And let's see. Baltimore injury. I think he wasn't. Yeah, he's out with the knee, has been ruled out. So why would the line go from 9.5 to 8.5? Huntley's questionable. I don't care if Huntley plays. He's not beating Cincinnati. This is a playoff game. This is Joe Burrow time. So those are your lines for today, which they've done a little bit of the biggest change with Tagovailoa being out and Skylar Thompson quarterbacking. So it moved Buffalo to 13. So I'm giving Buffalo as my free pick. And again, I now have 3 teaser plays, and I got 1 lock going this week. You can have the whole playoffs for $100, which is nothing. And I don't guarantee I go 100%. I'm not Bernie Madoff. I do good. I in the 70% range, which you can see on the site. It's all the games are there, and you can just go into the videos. You know what I picked. So, well, you don't know all my pick. You know how I pick the games. You don't know what I actually bet on. That's the only thing. But let's run it down. So Frisco 9.5, 42.5. The problem with Frisco now is their offense is getting good with Purdy and McCaffrey. See how 2 little changes turned the team around. I mean, Garoppolo sucked. They didn't have a running attack. Now they get McCaffrey, and the best thing that happened is they pull a Tom Brady, right? Bledsoe gets hurt. Here comes Brady. Well, they don't realize it at the time. That's the best thing that could happen. Garoppolo gets hurt. Here comes Purdy, their third stringer, who's like the top 5 quarterback in the league now, who always was. But again, he went to Iowa State. He didn't go to Alabama, so we can't draft him high. Could you believe this guy is the last quarterback draft, which is about saying how bad the GMs are at spotting talent in the NFL, right? Montana was a 3rd rounder and Brady was a 6th rounder. So on the 1st rounder was Drew Bledsoe and Ryan Leaf. So they really know what the fuck they're doing, right? So Frisco being so good, before we were betting them under, but what's an under team? It's like Georgia. The great defense, not a strong offense, has now turned into, wait a minute, now they're turning into Georgia, a great offense and a great defense, which then makes it hard to bet the under and motivates you more to bet the team. They're an A team now, very strong offense, very strong. You're not going to do much on them, and they're going to light you up. Makes it very difficult to go over or under on the game, because how do you go over on a Niner game, and then how do you go under on a Seattle game? So it's a mix. Seattle, an over team. They score a lot, and their defense is weak. So if we break the game into a war, the weaker teams, the Seattle, the strong teams, the Niners, they got the offense, they got the defense. So it's hard to go against Frisco at home. Seattle struggled against the Rams and Baker Mayfield. And the ironic part is they sacked Baker Mayfield like 6 times in the game. He wasn't the problem. Their problem was their offense. Geno Smith, I don't know. He didn't do anything against the Rams, and Aaron Donald didn't even play. So I don't see Seattle's defense really holding the Niners, and I see a problem with the Seattle offense, who I love, with Lockett and Metcalf and Walker, but Geno Smith isn't playing well. Maybe he got a little injured. There's always these injuries you don't know about, and the guy can't throw, but they don't tell you. So let's just say Geno Smith's maybe a little injured, but he's not the same. They lost 24-7 to the Niners in week 2 or 3. I don't see a big difference. The Niners, that defense, they're at home. We don't like the number, but let's get away from the point spread for a minute and look at the game without a point spread and just pick the score. And my score is like 27-3 or something like that. It'll be 27. Seattle's defense is okay. It's a playoff game. Purdy maybe a little nervous. I doubt it. So let's go 27-10. I see Frisco in the 20s easily, and I don't see Seattle, after their wonderful performance against the fucking Rams, lighting up the Niners in San Francisco. So in a must-win game, they choke, but they do get the win. I don't see how they win this game, which means they lose, which means, is it going to be by 3 or is it going to be by over 10? And I'm thinking it's going to be a big score. I think the Niners, now with McCaffrey, they're scoring a lot more. Purdy, I don't see any way Seattle can hang in this game and make it. With Coach Pete, they'll make it a little, I'd say within 2 touchdowns. Maybe you take Seattle in 15. You like that, but I've already was there, done that, and lost week 2 or week 3. So I'm not going back there. You can fool me once. You're not fooling me twice. So I got to go with the Niners at home. Figure 27-10 is my score. Now let's look at the line. My line's -10. This line's -9, 9.5. Exactly where I thought it should be. It makes sense. I got to go with the better defense, the better offense, the better team. The only thing is the better coach is Coach Pete. So that's what Seattle has going for them. But they'll take Lockett and Metcalf out of the game. Walker will run for his 70, 80 yards. The defense is too strong, and if they get down, I don't know, Geno Smith, he struggled so much against the Rams. That's what gets me in a must-win game. They should have blown out the Rams. They win, the guy misses a field goal to win it, and then he wins it in overtime. They get a few turnovers. They're not going to get the turnovers against San Francisco that they got against the Rams because it's, Mayfield. So, again, let's take the Niners 27-10 type of game. It should be, it'll be one of those games going, well, I guess I'll wait till the second game. So let's go to the second game. We got San Diego, Jacksonville. We know San Diego. They're 14-2 as a road favorite. They're 14-2 if you play against them as a road favorite. They're not a great favorite, but they do cover. They play close games. San Diego, very strong offense, and now a very strong defense. They're really probably a B team. They're very close to a San Francisco. You've got Herbert, you got Eckler, you got the receivers, Allen and Williams. You got the whole package. You got the defense now that Bosa's back, Mac's back, and James, the safety. So you got 3 Pro Bowlers on defense. And Khalil Mack, guess what he's going to do? He's going to shut down Lawrence, who can't pass if you put pressure on him, and then he can't run, as Tennessee did. Tennessee had him beat in Jacksonville in a game that Jacksonville had to win. He doesn't show up in the second half. This is the problem with Lawrence that I try to tell you. Everybody thinks, he's going to be the next pro. He's not. He can't read a defense, and when you blitz him, what happens when you blitz Montana, or you blitz Brady, or you blitz Manning? What happened? Or go blitz Rodgers. What happens? They kill you. They throw that little short pass. They read the blitz, and then they know where to throw it. And it's out of their hands in 2 seconds. You think, Mike, well, that doesn't matter. As long as Keenan Allen's playing, they got other receivers. I'm not worried about that. It'll throw to Eckler. He should be playing, but that's okay. I'm not going to be worried about it. As long as Keenan Allen and these guys have been injured enough that the other receivers have been playing. So it's the NFL. You got 5, 6 receivers on your team. Is Mike Williams critical? No, Keenan Allen's the critical. He's the one that gets open on the third downs. So I'm not really concerned if Williams is out or not. It's not going to change my thought. So you got Trevor Lawrence without really he can't read, right? He can't read the defense. He doesn't have good receivers. He's got Jones, who was on the Lions last year. And then you've got, but Edning's not going to do anything on San Diego. So what's going to happen is Khalil Mack's going to blitz. And he's faster than Lawrence, and he's just going to sack Lawrence. He's going to do all these short throws. I figured 2 interceptions by Lawrence today. But Lawrence is not going to win you the game. He didn't win the game for him last week. They got the worst call in the world when the Tennessee quarterback, Dobbs, makes the throw, and they call it a fumble on the worst call I've ever seen. In a playoff type of game, you can't call that a fumble. That was never a fumble. It was coming forward, which is an incomplete pass. Again, they wanted Jacksonville in because they want to promote Trevor Lawrence. Like, Jesus Christ. Of all the guys you want to promote, him? Really? Why don't you go promote Brock Purdy or somebody that's good? So with that said, you've got Lawrence not going to help you. So if you get down in the game, okay, if somebody's down 10 points, who do you want? Herbert or Lawrence? Of course you want Herbert. And that offense, Eckler can score in the red zone for you, which is critical. Herbert can run a little bit. He doesn't run a ton, but he can run. But he looks to pass. He's more what I want than Lamar Jackson and Lawrence and Fields, all these delightful running quarterbacks that are all injured and none of them are playing. So that's what you have. So if I look at the trends, so San Diego's fine on the road, 14-2 as a road favorite. As on the road, they're like 8-0 this year on the road and 8-0 against. So they play very competitive on the road. So that's good. I feel comfortable with them. So Jacksonville, not much of a home dog. The defense is San Diego's a 25, but without Bosa, who is back, he played last week, he'll be playing. That turns that defense down to a 20. Jacksonville is a 21. Okay. Not great, but all right. So solid defenses. So the edge is kind of even defensively. That goes to the offense. The edge goes to San Diego with the better quarterback. I don't love the coach of San Diego. I think he's an idiot. He goes for too many fourth downs. He doesn't know how – that means he doesn't know how to coach. He does analytics, which says, oh, it's 4th and 1 in my own 5. I think I'll go for it. Unbelievable. The guy's a freaking moron, and they win despite the coach. So they need to get – San Diego hasn't had a good coach in a long time. They need to get a good – I think since Don Coryell, I think, was there. Who was the guy in the 60s, the pass guy? That's what San Diego – they need a better coach. I mean, that's the problem with the NFL. The coaches are so bad. Oh, it's 4th down. I guess I'm supposed to go for it. Like the Lions last week. What the fuck were they doing? You get the ball at the 10-yard line, 4th and 2. You kick the field goal 100% of the time. Then you can't lose, and then you play defense. No, we're going to go for it. What if you missed? You're giving the ball to Aaron Rodgers with 1:30 left and only up 4 instead of up 7. Morons. I mean, they just assume they're going to make it, but it's 4th. If you couldn't do it on 3, you're probably not going to do it on 4. And the only time I go for it is when you need the touchdown. So you're down 4, it's 4th down. Now I go for it because I don't have a choice, but there's only a minute left in the game. Not at my own 29 like the Packers did. And look what happened. Teams that do that lose. So they're a bunch of freaking morons, the coaches. So anyway, I got some San Diego at 1.5 and at 2. I like them +4 over taking Jacksonville in 8. So let's get the line off of the table. Pick the score. I like San Diego 27-20 in the game. They'll score plenty. Jacksonville's defense is not going to really stop them. They're going to stop Lawrence because now they got Bosa and Khalil Mack coming at them that are faster than Lawrence. Look out. The edge is clearly on San Diego's defense now with Bosa back. And I got to bet Herbert is 10 times the quarterback Lawrence is. Now, I don't care if you think that or not. I'm not asking your opinion. That's mine looking at the stats going, yeah, who would you rather have, Herbert or Lawrence? And if you like Lawrence better, I need an explanation because I don't see it. I look at the whole 4th quarter against Tennessee. He couldn't get a completion. They just blitzed the hell out of him, and he got sacked a couple of times, and then he threw the ball over guys' heads and into the ground. And that's how you beat a Lawrence. That's how you beat Jalen Hurts. That's how you beat all these running quarterbacks is with the blitz. That's what I keep saying. You want to beat Buffalo, you blitz Josh Allen, you beat them. Period. But these defensive coordinators get their heads so far up their ass, they play these zones because they're afraid they're going to run. Well, if you blitz them, they can't run on you because you get to them before they start running. So that's the key to it. So 27, maybe 17, maybe 20. I don't see San Diego getting blown out here, so that's why I like San Diego in the points. I see San Diego winning the game straight out very easily. Again, they're 42. Now, over under 47, I like the game over, but I'd look at it like the Frisco game. I think San Diego is almost the A team, and Jacksonville doesn't have the offense because Lawrence ain't going to run in this game. He's going to have to pass, and he can't pass. So, people look at Lawrence when there's no pressure on him and he hits a 20-yard pass. They go, whoa, he looks pretty good. But that's only one area. How does he handle the blitz? And then he runs too much. That's what I look at. That's why I say he's no good or take Tagovailoa because, yeah, when you're standing there, there's no pressure and you got these fast receivers, of course they're going to get open. And the defenses play the stupid zones. But there's another part of the game, and that's where I'm saying that's why he's no good. Believe me, San Diego with Mack and Bosa are really going to put it to him. So I see San Diego maybe 27-17. Now we got tomorrow. We got Miami, Buffalo. No Tagovailoa. I believe Skylar Thompson is the quarterback. Good luck there. Shouldn't be in the league. He wasn't anything at Kansas State. Buffalo, they're playing for the injured guy. Like they don't. Why aren't they playing for Von Miller? Why aren't they playing for Micah Hyde? Why are they playing for number 3? That's what pisses me off because Von Miller's injured, but it's a different injury, so it doesn't count. I mean, I don't understand that. So Miami, as we see, without Tagovailoa, even with Tagovailoa, they don't have a chance. But they put up a 32-29 game in Buffalo with Tagovailoa, but he's out. So, and you can see he's done. I mean, this is the 3rd concussion he's had. He's probably never recovered from the hip injury he got at Alabama. That's a Bo Jackson injury. You don't recover from that, but he doesn't. And you see he doesn't run. So let's look at this. Miami, not a great road dog. They're Buffalo, 7-1 is a home favorite, 21-4 at home. So they're very strong at home. They're a much better home team. The weather will help them. It's cold here in Detroit. It's cold in Buffalo. Buffalo understands it, not a problem. We look at the defenses. Now, Miami gives up 24 a game, Buffalo 18. Okay, granted, they play the Jets twice a year and New England twice a year, which definitely puts that number lower, but still it's an 18 to a 20. It's still a 6-point difference because Miami also plays the Jets in New England, and they're 24. So better defense, Buffalo, better offense, Buffalo. They're the A team. They're at home. They are not losing this game. And Miami, without Tagovailoa, they'll just blitz Thompson. I love how all these new quarterbacks who suck go to the running game, right? They fade back and they start running. And they think, oh, look, I ran for 10 yards like it's a good thing. It's a bad thing because you're not getting your receivers involved and the defense just keys on you. And they start blitzing you. And now you've proven you can't pass, so they don't worry about the receivers. And you're dead. So, no, the running quarterback, the Mahomes and the Herberts, yeah, they're okay because that's not their main thing. It's the Lamar Jacksons. It's the ones that can't pass the fields that all they can do is run. Well, eventually they spy you and they bring in faster guys and then you get injured. And now what? And they don't play you seriously to pass the ball because you can't. So what's Thompson going to do? He'll run a few first downs and get all excited. They'll kick field goals, and then that's it. I say Buffalo about 35 to about 6 or 9 here. I don't see Miami scoring. Now, Buffalo's defense isn't what it should be when Von Miller went down. So the 18, let's call it a 20-21. But Miami's is a 24. It's not like they lost anybody or they got anybody back. With Thompson, they're going to struggle with drives. They're going to punt the ball more. They're not going to be able to rest their defense. So it ends up where Buffalo eventually wears you out. Laying the 13 and a half, lay the 7 and a half. Without Tagovailoa, they have no chance. They'll just start blitzing Thompson, and that'll be the end of the game. So I say Buffalo 35 in the 30s. Miami, maybe you'll get the 10. So it should be a big win. They're at home. It's the playoffs. They're not going to fuck around. They know they need to win. Their goal is Kansas City, but they're going to lose to Cincinnati next week. So that's the game I'm waiting for, is Cincy is a dog. Thank you, God. So we got Buffalo big. So we got the Niners big, San Diego, by 10, Buffalo big. Now it gets the Giants, Minnesota, mini 3, 48.5. Morning, Nick. Yeah, well, as I'm going through it, it just gets better and better. You got no Lamar, you got no Tag. You got Trevor Lawrence. I mean, it's beautiful. So let's go Minnesota Giants. Let's really break the game down. Giants are a strong road dog, 7-1. Minnie's 8-0, 11-1 over the last few years as a home favorite. Play against Minnie is 10-2, but play Minnie's 11-1. Bet against Minnesota as a home favorite, 16-3. Play against Minnesota, 41-9. So Minnie is like San Diego, in which they play a lot of close games. evidenced by the Giant game a couple weeks ago. They won 27-24 on a 60-yard kick. Many needed to win that game to clinch the division, and they barely got it. How do I react to that? I look at Minnie's defense sucks because the Giants don't have an offense. Daniel Jones runs, and they give the ball to Barkley. So why aren't you taking Barkley out of there? Because Minnie doesn't have a good defense. So I can't bet Minnie without a defense. I can't bet a playoff team without a defense, which leads me to the Giants, who have a fairly good defense, but they're not going to stop Cousins and Jefferson and Cook at home. So as long as those guys are healthy, I don't see the Giants really stopping them. Their defense is a 22. They let up 50 to Philadelphia the first time. The second time they played Philly pretty good, but Hurts hadn't played in 4 weeks, and that's what happened when you don't. That's what happens off of a bye. I don't think Philly's going to win next week. They're certainly not going to beat the Niners. The Niners are way the better team. So you got the Giants an even team. So they score 22, they give up 22. So they seem to be able to score into the 20s, no higher. And they seem to let up in the 20s. So what we have here, if we look at the teams, Minnesota is more of an over team. They can score with Cousins, but he gives you interceptions. So I can't trust Minnesota. They gave up 35 points to Indiana in the big game the big comeback, right? And I won on that game, and I was shocked. I said, that's a loser. It's 33-0 at half. By the end of the third quarter, I was like, well, maybe it's not a loser. And by the end of the game, they had won. But look what they did. Now, it was a block punt. It was one of Cousins' pick sixes. So they gave him 14 points in the game. But that's what Cousins does. He gives you points. And the more pressure, the worse he gets. So I can't trust Cousins to win. So I cannot take Minnie +3. That leaves me the Giants in 9. But I can't take the Giants in 9 because they don't have a quarterback. They don't have a coach, and they quit last week. They didn't try against Philly, and they let Philly the 1 seed because they sit out their quarterback, who God knows shouldn't even be their quarterback, but God knows needs work. He needs practice. This guy's terrible. Yeah, they drafted him because he went to the Peyton Manning quarterback camp. And then I'm reading where Peyton Manning is recommending coaches, and teams are hiring these coaches, and these coaches suck. So all of a sudden, Peyton Manning knows a coach because what? He knows a passing offense. So if Peyton Manning is calling the coaches, that's the big problem in the league. Why would you go to Peyton Manning for a coach? What the fuck is that all about? So let's look at the score. So forget the 3. Let's just look at the game. The Giants are at Minnie. What do we think the score? Well, we think Minnie's going to score a lot and give up a lot. The Giants, we don't think can win, but should keep it competitive. Minnie plays a bunch of close games. The Giants are a strong road dog, 7-1. Minnie's 8-0 as a home favorite. And I think they're they're 10-2, play against as a home favorite. So they're 11-1 as a home favorite the last 2 years and 10-2 against. So this game's going to be close. So we could take the Giants if they didn't lay down last week because you can't flip the switch. And Jones sucks, but he runs. And then you got Barkley, but you got Minnesota with this terrible defense. So I'm going to guess 30-27 final, and I can't tell you the winner, nor do I care who wins it. 30-27, that takes me to a 48 over 42 because Minnie can't stop the win. They will score. Look at against the Lions. The Lions beat Minnesota. If you lose to the Lions, there's a big problem there. So the Giants don't have a Lions type of offense. And Goff is not a good quarterback, but okay. So I see the Giants scoring in the 20s. I see Minnie upper 20s. So you're looking at a 30-24, 30-27 game, but the Giants could win it because Cousins can give you some pick sixes. So there'll be easy scores with the pick sixes and the punts and the drop punts and all that. The Giants, they'll probably try to run the ball with Barkley, or maybe they'll pass with Sims. Terrible coach. Anybody that lays down is a terrible. So you're telling your team we're not going to try. Who the fuck does that? And what kind of team reacts to a coach that doesn't react? So I definitely like the game over. I do not want to play a side. I would have played the Giants if they tried last week, but because they didn't, and they still almost beat Philly with Jarvis Webb. What the fuck is he doing in the league? then I can't play Minnesota here. So I don't trust the Giants, so let's go over in the game. And it's the only total I'm going with, but it's going to be a high-scoring game. Now we got Baltimore, Cincinnati. We got Cincinnati at 8.5. Why it came down from 9.5 is beyond me. I don't see any big injury to Cincy that would cause it. Burrow, Chase, mix in anybody. And Lamar Jackson's out. And maybe I'm not sure if Huntley plays, but let's say he plays. I don't care if he plays. He's not good. Cincy at home. Both teams are under. Baltimore gives up 19 and Cincy gives up 20. So they both have good defenses. I think Cincy's defense is a little better, but the key is Burrow over Huntley. Burrow is much better. Like in the San Diego game, you got Herbert much better than Lawrence. Here you got Burrow, the best quarterback in the league, against Huntley. Even if it was Lamar, I'd be taking Cincinnati. But I like this much better. Baltimore is an under team. They don't score a lot. Cincy, Burrow will win it for you, and they have a strong defense. So, again, a 19 and a 20. I don't have much trend. Cincy's about an 80% if you bet them this year. They're okay at a home favorite. They're like 5-1. They won a big game against Kansas City as a home dog. I believe, they were a home dog, and they won. So they do have that win on it against a good defense. They beat Baltimore the first time. Well, they just beat them last week, 27-10. So they didn't have a problem with their defense. So let's take 8.5 off the board. I like Cincinnati. Let's take the 8.5. I say the same score. I'd say 27-10, 30-10, 30-7. I don't see Baltimore doing anything. Since he lit them up last week, I don't see any reason to change it. So take Cincinnati late. Now it's 2.5. Thank you. I mean, it couldn't have got any better. So Cincinnati minus 2.5. Dallas, Tampa. Dallas minus 2.5. Dallas is the B team, a decent offense, strong defense normally, but you wouldn't guess it against Houston, against Jacksonville, against Green Bay. I mean, it's really puzzling what team shows up for Dallas. Tampa, they're an under team because they got such a terrible offensive coordinator. He's just, I guarantee Julio Jones plays. It's a Monday night. It's a playoff game. And Evans and Brady and Fournette and all the defensive players that can play are going to play. I think Tampa Bay is the better team in this game. I see Tampa winning 24-20 in this game. Brady is a home dog. I mean, that's it. That's all you need to say. They're 8 and Dallas is 8-2. Play against is a road favorite. 15-2 play against. Or Tampa's 15-2 play against. So I just see again. Spread should be Tampa -3. Why Dallas is favorites beyond me. Prescott, horrible quarterback. He throws a pick six a game. What the fuck is that? So here in the playoffs, so you can count on 7 points. You're up 7-0 with Tampa on a pick six. Prescott's going to throw, and he's not going to get you a touchdown back. They got a lot of offensive weapons, but Tampa's got a very good defense, and he's got Tom Brady. And, okay, Micah Parsons will blitz. Well, you got the best reader of blitzes in the world in Brady. Parsons won't get there in time. Brady will just throw the ball to Evans or throw it to Fournette on these quick blitz pickups. See, that's the difference. Brady sees he knows the blitz is coming. He sees where it's coming from and knows how to defeat it. Trevor Lawrence doesn't even know there's a blitz coming. As we saw in the Tennessee game, neither did the Tennessee quarterback. Whatchamacallit? I keep seeing his name and missing it. He didn't see the blitz coming. How did he not? Didn't he played at Tennessee for, in college. Didn't they blitz him? So he doesn't understand there's a corner blitz coming. That's the difference. Neither does Lawrence. Neither does, thank you, Nick. Hey, Bobby Bo. All right. Just for you, Bobby, I had this very, very important thing, and I was waiting. I showed it in the first minute, and I've got to re-show you. You will be very happy with this thing I'm going to show you. All I can say, Bobby, you need to run and buy. You need to run and buy silver today. This happened on Monday. Russia buying physical gold. This is our friend from London who actually knows what he's doing. This is the black swan event we've been waiting for that I keep telling you it's coming. And when this happens, look out. And you can see gold already going up over $120 in the last 30 days. Watch this. Russia's buying physical gold and silver. Okay, Bobby, there you go. You want to know if it's going up? You just got the answer. I would go buy 50 ounces for you. I'd go buy your 50 ounces today because you don't have much time before they're buying silver too. It's always implied it's gold and silver. Well, I came on a little while ago, about 11:30, because I want to get done so I can eat. Okay, I went through the playoffs. I'll go through them again for you, Bobby. Yeah, they're buying gold and silver, but buy some fucking gold, okay? Buy an ounce or two. Buy something, even if it's a half ounce or whatever you can get your hands on, but it's all sold out. And if Russia's buying physical gold, they're setting a physical price, which is what we've been waiting for, which is what I keep talking about, the derivative price at 1,900 and the physical price at 40,000. And if Russia's doing it, it'll be 50,000. So, yes. Anyway, back to football, but I did want to share that Bobby is into the gold and silver. And I know I showed it in the beginning, but I want to share it with him now. So, anyway, I think Tampa wins like 24-20. Tampa doesn't score much, but it's Tom fucking Brady. You finally have Jones and Evans and Fournette playing, and the defense, everybody will play if they can walk today. It's a playoff game. They're a home dog. It's Monday fucking night. It's Brady time. Prescott will choke because he chokes in the playoffs. Dallas is one and done with Prescott. They don't understand he sucks. Again, this is a point that I don't get. Everybody sees Trevor Lawrence sucks. Fields sucks. Lamar Jackson sucks. Everybody can see this. But the guys, the coach and the general man, well, more the general manager, because he's the guy screwing the coach with these quarterbacks. So here's Prescott. It's the same thing. He's Trevor Lawrence. He can run. He throws a lot of interceptions. Yeah, he throws some touchdowns, but he's so inconsistent. I would rather, if Cooper Rush was playing, I would lock the under in this game. The over-under is 45.5. It's probably still an under at 51. But you can't make Tom Brady a home dog. So let's go 24-20 Tampa Bay. Oh, we're getting 2.5. We kick it up to 8.5. There you go. Take Tampa in the 8.5. So to run through this with you, Bobby, well, that's what you come. That's what I'm here for, Bobby. I'm not Madoff where I'm hiding things. I'm counter Madoff where I'm actually advising thing. I'm actually telling you the secrets that he kept. Both of my coin stores are closed there. They call up the fucking things. Mine's open till 3. I'll be going after the show. Call up your things online that you go to that you can trust. If you need to, use your credit card. I would suggest buying at least 2 ounces. It'll cost you $4,000 because now that you've waited and it's 1920, it could even be higher. I could be for an Eagle today. He's like 180 over his spot. He's going to be 2,100 for my Eagle. So I got to hope he's got a Maple Leaf or a Cougar in. I'd prefer a half ounce right now because that would work out better. But I'm going to at least buy 20 ounces of silver because that's ridiculous. That price hasn't moved, but it will with the gold. That's the point. It's still it's going to go like a volcano, the silver price, because the gold's moving, the silver isn't. But the problem is people want the physical, the derivative guys don't have it. It blows up. Look out for silver. So it's going to really jump. So at least buy 40 ounces of silver today, Bobby. That's your homework assignment. Okay. I'm going to go buy silver. I might buy gold. I got to see what they have, but now it's getting, 2,200 for the ounce. I bought a lot at 1,700, 1,800. I just showed you. I bought my last purchase, it was 1874 for my Cougaran, right? So now the 1874, now you're asking me to pay 2,200. On the other hand, though, if I turn it in, I get 19 something. But I'll buy silver for sure today because I know it's over. I mean, we got a month. Like I said, my birthday's March 7th. I expect birthday presents. By then, we'll check, and I guarantee you the prices will be much, much higher than they are now. So there's your trigger, Bobby. There's your black swan. Good. If the fucking Russians are buying it, you know it's going to go up because the Russians, like to control things. So let's go through the games once again. We like the Niners big over Seattle. We like San Diego by 10 or so over Jacksonville. Buffalo by 30 over Miami. We got mini Giants. It's going to end where nobody will win, but we like the over because they both suck. Cincinnati by 20 over Baltimore. Lamar's out. And then Tampa Bay in a close one over Dallas. Tease the dog. So really, there's two dogs you could play, the Giants and Tampa, but how do you trust the team that laid down last week? This is the problem I have when these teams lay down and they think it doesn't matter. You cannot just turn the switch. As Bobby knows, you can't sit everybody out and then wonder why the next game you can't play because you can't turn it on. You get into rhythms, you get into tempos. It's like a dance. It's a rhythm. And you can't fuck the rhythm up by sitting down half your players. What the fuck kind of coach is this? This guy's an idiot. So now he thinks, I'll just put Daniel Jones and he'll just play. Daniel Jones sucks in the first place. He's not the guy you sit out. He's the guy you play, and he shows up after practice, like in the Olympic movie where they played the game in Sweden, and the guys are all looking at the girls, and then he had them skating for an hour and a half after the game saying, you don't want to play? Well, I'll show you. And that's what Daniel Jones needs. He needs to go out after the game and throw 500 passes to his receivers with defense to show him how to read a defense. So that's what we have. So the first game are the Niners and San Diego today. And then we got Buffalo, Mini, and Cincy tomorrow. Why are they fucking Tampa over? Because they got to play Monday night. This is the stupidest thing. I know you want money and you want a Monday night game. This game should be Saturday night. You're fucking them because then the next weekend there's only 4 games, right? So you're going to go from 12 teams to 6, and then you add your ones. That gives you 8 teams, gives you 4 games. That's 2 Saturday and 2 Sunday. Don't fuck around. You're not having a game Monday night, and if you do, it's the stupidest thing in the world because this is playoff football, which should never be on Monday. So Saturday and Sunday, you got your one game. So that's 4 games. What the fuck are you now doing with the money? So you're screwing Tampa. Let's hope they play the Sunday game. They could play the Saturday game. They could say, you know what? We want I would think the Niner Mini is the 3 seed. So Tampa's the 4 seed. If they win, they're playing Philly more than likely on a Sunday. Yeah, because it's Brady. And then the Niners Mini Giant winner will play Saturday. That makes sense. I would like Buffalo Cincinnati to be Sunday night's game, and then Kansas City against San Diego, which will be a good game Saturday. I don't know if KC makes it. I think Cincinnati, the Niners in the Super Bowl, they're the best 2 teams. They're the best offensive, defensive. They got the best quarterbacks. Well, Purdy's not the best, but in the NFC, he is. Brady's really the best, but kind of injured. So it's Brady and Purdy against Burrow. Burrow is the best. I'm going to say the best in the league. Much better than Allen and he's up there with Mahomes. I think they're pretty equal, but Allen runs too much, too many interceptions. Burrow is the king. And Burrow is clutch. As we saw in college, he beat Alabama. He beat Georgia. He won all the big games, beat Clemson when he was down. He's the best. He's the most clutch. This is why I argue with the Skylar Thompson or some of these guys. They sucked. That's why you hear me argue about Mills on Houston. He sucked at Stanford. I think he had 10 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. All of a sudden, he's going to get better in the pros with better competition than he did at Stanford. You got to be fucking kidding me. That's what I do. But when I watched Burrow at LSU and he won all the big games and he put up 45 on Alabama and Georgia and Clemson, what the fuck do you need to see? I mean, this guy is the real deal, and he's doing it in the pros, which I never had a doubt. So I'm betting him today. I'm betting him next week against Buffalo. And if Kansas City's there, I'm taking them as a dog. If they're the dog the next 2 weeks, we're going to make a lot of money. Now, Tampa, Dallas, does Tampa beat Philly? It depends how their defense is. It's all the defense, right? If the defense is well enough, Hurts will give them the turnovers they need to keep them close. So I don't know. I don't think they can beat the Niners, though. So your Super Bowl is the Niners, Cincinnati. San Diego, Cincy would be a good championship game also. But I do think it's the Niners and Cincinnati, and I'll take the dog. But it'll be hard to bet against the Niners. So we're just going to bet the Niners this week, next week. That'll be a joke if they play mini or the Giants. Well, that'll be the thing. They get Tampa if the Giants win because the 1 seed gets the lowest seed. So that'll be Philly and the Giants. And then it would be Tampa, Frisco. So that'll be I don't give Tampa any chance against this team. I don't give anybody really a chance against the Niners. The only thing the Niners are lacking is their coach. Their coach, absolutely the biggest choke. He's the one that choked for Atlanta. You can blame the head coach, but it was his offense. He's got the ball and that big Julio Jones pass. All you need is a field goal in the games that they're over 8. The game's over. And they're up 8, actually, right? Because Tampa had to score a 2-point conversion to get the tie to go to overtime. And what happens, they get the ball to the 20-yard line on the Julio Jones catch, and then I would take 3 knees and kick my field goal. No, he throws the ball, and then it's a holding penalty, and then he throws a screen that loses 10 yards and knocks him out of field goal range. What kind of coaching's that? And this guy's a moron. That's the only weak spot of San Francisco is their coach. Shanahan is not all there. He's just not a good coach. He should have beat the Rams last year. So I don't. That's their only problem. That's why they might not win the Super Bowl. Is their coach is very bad. But Purdy looks like a superstar, and you got the I can't think of the receiver that runs all the time, and McCaffrey. So Frisco's loaded, strong defense. The defense will win it for him. So that's what I see. Teaser trends today, besides the ones I gave you, overall teasers, the Niners, Cincinnati, San Diego, Seattle, Mini, Cincinnati, and Buffalo play against Tampa, Miami, San Diego, Kansas City, Minnesota, Baltimore, and Miami. I got Miami twice. Okay. Well, I go through 2 years, and if you're 80% or above, I put you down here. So these are teams like San Diego's like an 85%. You bet on them. Also against them. It's a weird team. They play all these close games. So just normally in a San Diego game, you want to play a teaser. You like when they're the dog, but in this case, you're getting 4 is good. Yeah, Deebo Samuel. Thank you, Bobby. Glad to see you're paying attention. But I will definitely buy silver today because I can see it. It's like here's the light at the end of the tunnel. We're at the light, so we got all we want. J.P. Morgan will try to keep the price down. It won't happen. And as they say, Katie bar the door because the door is blown out. So definitely, my store's open till 3. It's 12:30 now. FYI, Bobby. It's let's call it 1 o'clock. I am now 70 hours in, and I tell you, I'm not even that hungry today. As hungry as I thought. I got hungry last night because I cooked some hamburger. I cooked sloppy Joe, which I was gonna make, and then I said I'm gonna fast because my fucking foot. Now my foot's absolutely fine. So the process worked. It did what I wanted it to do. So I made 3 pounds of sloppy Joe last night because I wanted to cook it. And I didn't want it to keep in the fridge too much longer because I bought it Wednesday. So I cooked it last night. All I could think about was eating the sloppy Joe. And I got really hungry at night. But I'll tell you, I woke up. I got to bed about 1:30. I got up at 10. I'm not hungry. I could easily go till 7 o'clock or even maybe wait till tomorrow to eat. But I can't imagine not eating it. I think I'll go swimming. I'll go buy some silver. I'll go swimming, and then I'll go to, and then I'll eat after swimming. But the foot's fine. I am noticing it swells up a little after I run in the pool. So I don't know that this is a eating or gout type of thing. I think I must have injured it somehow or something, but I can't, like when I'm running in the pool, I'm noticing it gets a little bit puffy. And after it gets a little bit, like I had to ice it down after the pool. So I don't know. I might not, I might just do some walking in the shallow pool because the pool is so deep. I can't walk normal. I got to kind of walk down, and this is the part that's hurting me. So I might not do it, but I go more for the hot tub and the bike. I've been able to ride the bike fine. So we all need to get exercise. And you know why you exercise? It's for the mind. The mind needs to work out, not really the body. I always tell my girlfriend, go walk. If she doesn't in the Ukraine, if you don't, she says it's cold out. I says, just walk for 5 minutes. She says, take the dogs out. So, okay, that's your exercise. But it's critical for your mind to walk. Anyway, so I just want to let you know we're at 72 hours is 3 o'clock. So, at 1 o'clock, it'll be 71 hours. It'll be 70 hours, which is my all-time high because normally when I try to do this by about 67, 68 hours, I'm done. But normally I stop at 6, 7 o'clock at night, and then I go. This time I stopped at 3 o'clock. So I'm a little bit off schedule because normally it would have held me off more. But here, but I like now I said I could easily, if I had a bet, if I was betting Bobby an ounce of gold that I wouldn't eat till tomorrow, I wouldn't eat till tomorrow. I'd wait till noon tomorrow to eat. I could do that at this point. I'm not famished, and I just had a coffee. So I'll probably have another tea and a water. That's what I did last night. I had a coffee, I had a water, I had another water. It was like just to fill me up, keep me hydrated. So that's our football. Free pick Buffalo. And basically I gave you the scores. So off you go. If you want all my playoffs through the Super Bowl, $100, I'll give you this week, next week, the following week in the Super Bowl game. Again, you don't know. I got 2 locks going and a total of 3 teaser plays with 1 lock in it. So that's really the thing. You don't know what I'm really betting stronger on than weak. It's teasers. You can't bet the same amount because if you play 2 teasers, that's 4 games, and you go 3-1, you break even, you lose the juice. So by varying your amounts, that's why I do locks. I bet more on that as long as I win the big game. If I win the little game, that's gravy. If I lose it, I still am a winner, and my goal is to be a winner. No, I'm not made off. I don't go 100%. As people think I go 100%, it really confuses me. Like, oh, you had a loser. I'm like, didn't you think I was going to have a loser? I know what I'm doing, but I can't. Maybe the Giants mini goes under, but from here it looks like it's an over. But how much do you want to bet on the Minnesota Giant over? I mean, maybe that would be my only loser, I think, today, but we don't know. The trends are good. That's about it. Maybe Buffalo doesn't cover the 13, but that's why we tease them down to 7. Oh, shit, the fast is still on. How much you got left? Well, I just said, what kind of coffee do you drink? And I fucking love coffee. I drink Folgers Instant. So I heat the water. I put a spoonful of Folgers in here with half and half and cinnamon, put in the hot water, and it's all set to go. I don't get into the other. I'm not going to buy the little cups that fuck it. I just heat water into it. And I'll have the green tea also, and then the water. Like I said, the fast I have till 3 o'clock. So I've only got 2 hours left. So I'm at 70 hours of the 72. After this, I'll go to the coin store and then I will go to swim and then I will eat. Just trying to. The thing is, the autography's been in since the first day after 18 hours. So when we talk Thursday, by 18 hours was like 9 o'clock in the morning because I stopped at 3 in the afternoon. So my autography's in. So you don't understand. This is what you try to get to is the autography, but it takes 18 hours to get there. So now that I'm already in the 18-hour window at 70, the longer I go, the stronger the autography, the more I'm being cleaned out. All the bad cells are gone. All the sugar that I fucking ate gone. Everything is gone. Now the guy's really digging. And he's killing all the fat cells and anything that's unhealthy in my body because I'm letting the guy go after it, right? So he's going to town and it's been 70 hours. So everything after 18 is now gravy. So the incentive now is to keep it going, to let the guy keep digging. That's why I don't just do 24. Once I pass that 18 hours, it's green light. It's like, fuck, I'm being cleaned out. So that's why I get hungry. But the guy's going after the food. And as he goes after the food, he sees the cancer cells and the bad cells, and he kills them. So that's the whole benefit. That's why you go longer. So that's why it's almost like, oh, maybe I can get 77 or 78 hours out of it. Give them the extra 4 or 5 hours to kill the cells and get all the energy he wants and really clean. Like once I've gone this far, it's like eating an avocado or the dark chocolate. They don't taste great, but they're extremely healthy for you. And no, I haven't had my avocado in 3 days. I'll eat that when I start eating. I'll have that, my sloppy joes, and and I got a chicken. Thank you, Bobby. And then so I got a salad. So it's like too much to eat, but I'll just have a little sloppy joe and a little chicken and salad. But it's not like I don't take precaution because I fasted to only eat this, that, or the other. I'll eat meat. I'll eat a steak. I'll try to eat, like after this, chicken, a little sloppy joe, an avocado. That's the type of food, water to get my system going again. But that's the idea. My system, there's a guy in there cleaning me out. And the longer I go, the more he cleans. I got much thinner. Not that I'm even trying to do that. If you want to lose, so this is my problem. So help me out here. I'm at the pool in the hot tub. I see some fat guy. I know he's got diabetes and insulin resistance. I know how to help him. I know if I tell him to cut out sugars and carbs and do what I do and do this little fast, do an 18-hour fast, and then every once in a while do this 72-hour fast, I will cure you. What do I do? Because most of the people don't fucking listen. They look at me like, who are you? It's a trust issue. It's probably a Madoff issue. I'm not going to trust anybody. Or this human trafficking issue where the guy sends his wife with his buddy to Turkey and the buddy sells her. And he's like, I don't trust anybody anymore. So here comes me, an angel-like figure who wants to help you, oh no, you're Madoff. You want to, you want to help us, but you're trying to scam us or you're trying to Ponzi scheme me. And that's further. I don't ask for a penny. When I tell you to buy gold and silver, how does it benefit me? I don't make money. I'm just trying to educate people who aren't educated from what I've learned. I don't go to areas. I don't go law. I don't know law. I can't go cars. I don't know cars. I can tell you what I know, which is economics, gold, silver, football, poker. And now that I've learned this intermittent fasting and that type of thing, I can tell you that. And most people don't know that. I can eat fairly healthy food, but I haven't done a fast longer than 16 hours so much. Well, you'll get there and see, once you get away from what makes the fast hard is when you eat your chips, when you eat your Oreos or cake Any sugar is going to make you hungry. Any pop is going to make you hungry. It's going to dehydrate you. So you want to have water. But that's why we have a problem. And that's why we eat so much. The ingredients they put in this shit, your carbs, your Cheerios, even your yogurts, your cakes, and your chips, all the shit we eat has this ingredient. I believe it's MSG, we were told before, which makes you hungry. So how are you going to fast if you keep getting these hunger signals from this chemical you're eating, which they put in there on purpose? So you start eating some Fritos, and you ever go to the gas station, you fill up, you go get a Slurpee or a Diet Coke out of the machine, and you grab a bag of Fritos. You always eat the bag of Fritos. You'll eat the whole fucking bag of Fritos to the point where you might buy a bigger bag or 2 bags, right? Because you're going to eat it. There's no way you're going to eat 5 Fritos. But I guarantee you, if I put a bowl of broccoli or cauliflower in front of you, or I cut up some celery yesterday, you're going to have 4 or 5 of them and you're done, right? I can sit down a bowl of cauliflower. You're never going to eat the whole bowl, even a small bowl. If I filled this up, right, this is just a coffee mug. If I fill that up with broccoli, I guarantee you won't eat the whole thing because there's nothing triggering you to be hungry. If I fill this with Fritos, M&M, if I fill this with M&Ms, Oreos, or Fritos, or any type of chip, I guarantee you eat the whole thing because it's chemically induced to fuck you over, to make you more hungry, to buy more food. It's all about money. It's all about you demanding more, but you don't realize you're being hypnotized kind of by the chemicals in there that says eat more, which you don't even realize you're eating more. So once you get away from that into your veggies and into your eggs and into your steaks and your burgers and your pig's ears, and you're having broccoli for a snack or dark chocolate for a snack, and when you make your coffee, you don't put sugar or sweetener in it, Bobby. Use cinnamon and use a little bit of honey and some ginger and some half and half. Don't buy milk, buy half and half. Once you do that, you'll get the cravings gone. Then you can eat at noon. Then you can have your steak and your pig ears for dinner and a salad with your Kansas salad dressing with no high fructose corn syrup. And then you have a coffee at night or a tea or a water. And then you wake up and guess what? You're not as hungry. The first day, you're still a little bit hungry. But if you can get to noon, if you can get away from after 6 or 7 eating and not eat till noon, and do that for 2-3 days, now you're into it. And after about 2 or 3 weeks of that, now you can do a 24-hour fast, right? Just eat dinner at 6, and all you're doing is not eating till the next dinner. So you're basically skipping your lunch and your little snack, which you can easily do, especially if you get busy, you're on the golf course, you go work out, you go play poker, you get away from the kitchen and your place, and you get out, you go walk the lake, you go play golf. Then you eat at 6. So now you've really gone 24 hours. Then a couple of weeks later, you now don't eat that meal. You wait till the next day. And so now when you wake up, you're at 36 hours. So now maybe you eat lunch. So Monday you eat, Tuesday you don't. The first time you eat dinner, the second time you don't eat Tuesday. You get through that with water and tea and coffee, no sweetener, no sugar. Then you get to Wednesday. Now at lunch, you eat Wednesday. You've just gone 36 fucking hours. No, you've gone more. You've gone 24. If you started at 6, you've gone 24, 36. You've gone 42 hours without eating, and all you've done is skip one dinner. Well, you've skipped a lunch and a dinner. And now you're at 42 hours. You don't even realize it. Then you eat your lunch, you eat your dinner. Then you keep doing your 18 hours. And then maybe a couple of weeks later, you now do what I do. I ate Wednesday. I didn't eat Thursday. I didn't eat Friday. Now Saturday, I'm going to enjoy football with a big fucking bowl of sloppy Joe and chicken and salad and avocado and dark chocolate and all my normal stuff. But no carbs will be on the menu, because I just worked hard to kill the carbs and kill the sugar that I've been having, the pumpkin pie and the chocolate, because it's a holiday, because I was kind of bored and, just wanted to enjoy it. You go through that, but it's okay because I've lost it. I don't have my stomach. I don't have the insulin resistance or the diabetes. So that's perfectly okay, but you can't keep eating it. I think that's what happened to me is I then had another ice cream and I had more cake. And instead of buying a piece, I bought a whole pumpkin pie. So that's where you get into trouble. So then you kind of get away from it, which is what this does. This 3 days, I'm reset now. So now I don't have any cravings. And now, like I said, I don't have, if Bobby was going to give me an ounce of gold, if he had any, for don't eat till noon tomorrow, I would be fine to do it. I'd have some more water. I'd go to the club. I'd go get my gold. And then I, watch the games and not really think about eating. The hard part is these fucking commercials. You start, oh my God, there's a Wendy's commercial. There's Pizza Hut. There's this. There's all these food commercials. And when you're not trying to eat, you don't want to even be reminded of food. You just want to watch football and movies and stuff like that. Anyway, so that's what it is. That's the trigger. So, Bobby, I want to see you on a 24-hour soon. Stop eating chips and M&Ms and carbs and bagels and cereal. Get away from that. Don't put sugar in your coffee and tea. And then you'll be fine. Okay, what else do we want to talk about? So I brought up Tesla. Tesla, that was the first thing I brought up, is lowering his prices on his electric vehicles. Now we're going to economics. Why? Because the market will not demand the higher prices. I told you yesterday, electric vehicles were 300,000 in 2021, and supposedly 800,000 in 2022, which I believe were mostly these hybrid electric cars. So I read today where people with hybrid electric cars, which are you can either use gas or electric, aren't using the electric. They're all filling up with gas. So I question the 800,000. There's 60 million cars being sold every year in the normal car market, and they're not even getting 1/16. They're not even selling 1 million of them. Now you have higher interest rates, so the costs are even higher, and people are getting crushed with inflation and higher interest rates. They're not, you can't raise prices in an inflationary period and expect sales to go up. So now he's lowering his price because he thinks he's Austrian and he's starting to realize the market is not reacting. I can't sell it at 60,000. I got to lower my price to a non-demanded product. And what did we talk about? Say's law. You demand a product, they make it, but you cannot make a product there's no demand for. And that's what he's doing. And that's what I keep harping. So Tesla is lowering their price. Their stock should go to shit. Ford and GM will have to lower their price. Their stock will go to shit, especially with high interest rates. How are you going to sell it and get 5% interest on a fucking electric Ford that would last you within probably 5 months, the battery will blow up. Bobby, sleeping is what's fucked me up. Why? Just have a couple glasses of water and read an accounting book or something, and that'll put you to sleep. Or, you got YouTube, watch a golf tournament. Put on put on a golf or a bowling tournament, something boring. You'll be asleep in 10 minutes. I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to go from here to buy the silver and then go to the pool. And then I think when I get home, I'll eat. Normally it's a Chinese day, but I'd already bought the sloppy joes and I didn't put them in the freezer. So I made them last night. So I got plenty of food. If I do, I could go get Chinese, but I wouldn't eat it till probably Monday. So I'll just go Monday to get the Chinese food. Actually, I'm going to Toyota Monday for an oil change, which is near the Chinese restaurant. So I will go from Toyota to the Chinese Monday. But I don't know. I want to get out because as I said, I want to delay it because I want the guy inside to clean more and more cells. The more I wait, the more cells he cleans. But I'm not dizzy. I'm eating enough coffee and tea and water. I am fully functional. I am not tired. I am not dizzy. I remember one day I was getting a little dizzy because of that. I'm fine. I'm fully functional, dying to go get my silver, dying to go, if they have, and then dying to go get my my hot tub and ride the bike, and then I'll come home for the football. So I kind of plan it. Football's at 4:30, so I'll plan that. But that's basically what I want to do. And although the San Diego game will be okay. The Niners will kill Seattle. I mean, they couldn't beat the Rams last week. Jesus Christ. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm really not timing it. I know 3 o'clock, 72 hours, but it's just a random thing. Initially, I wanted to do 5 days, but my foot feels fine. I'm walking perfectly fine. It's not blowing up on me. Like I said, a little bit after the workout, so I'll be ginger on the workout. I might not go into the deep pool. I'll go into the shallow one where I can walk very gently. And I've been walking a lot less. Normally, I like to do a half hour. I've been doing 10 minutes. I did 15 minutes last night, and then I do my aerobics in the pool. So I'll probably do that. And but outside of that, I really don't have a time. It's like, it's 1 o'clock now. It's 70 hours. I'm on go whenever. I mean, I could eat the avocado right now, but I just, when you get to this point, you want it to last, like sex. You want it to last as long as you can. So that's kind of where I'm at. Let's talk about silver. What do you want to know, Bobby Bo? The Russians buying the physical gold will also buy the physical silver. Silver's cheaper, so it's going to go through the roof, because when people can't afford the gold at $10,000, $20,000 an ounce, they're all going to realize gold and silver, and they're all going to run to silver. The silver COMEX is blown up. The spot's 24. You just paid 38. Believe me, once the Russians make the physical silver market like they're making, I'm sure this is a physical gold/silver. Watch that video I showed you, right? It's our guy from England. Watch it. It's 30 minutes. It's the best 30 minutes you're gonna do, except for my show. He's gonna explain the gold and the silver are going through the roof. This is what we're waiting for. Once the Russians, they're trying to do a physical price, which is what I bitched about. Why is it just this COMEX bullshit price? Where's the physical price? And that's the problem. And they'll just say, this is the physical price is COMEX, which is clearly not. It's the derivative fake bullshit price. These guys should all be in jail or they should be sent to a Siberian prison. Then they'd never do it again. But what they're doing is there's 1 million ounces of silver and they're selling 20 million ounces in a derivative. Well, there isn't even 20 million. How are you selling 20 million to keep the price down when there isn't? And so what's happening is, okay, you got to deliver that. And they can't because it doesn't exist. And that's really the end of the game. And that's what's happening. It's just taking a time. But with this Russian thing on Monday, here it goes. And you can see what's happening. I showed you gold. Gold's more noticeable, gone up $120 in a month. Wait till silver. And when silver runs at 24, you'll be lucky to get it for 500, Bobby. I'd say maybe you got 3 or 4 weeks left, but now I'm not even sure if we have that much time. Or I can put on a Jets game, watching their offense will put me in or you can put on a hockey game, put on a Red Wing game, or put on put on a baseball game. That'll knock you out. Put on a Tiger game. Half the team can't hit 200. That'll put you out. No, I put half and half in my coffee. The green tea, I just put cinnamon and ginger in and a squeeze of lemon. I don't put lemon in the coffee. I don't find it goes together. I'll just squeeze some lemon in my mouth. Or what I do is I squeeze lemon and put olive oil, mix it, and drink that. That's what I do for my health, the olive oil, lemon. But no, I don't ever drink coffee. Coffee, I can't drink black, but tea, just the tea bag. But that gives you the flavor. So coffee, I put the coffee in, I put the half and half and the cinnamon, and it gives me the flavor without the sugar. Cinnamon's not sugar. It's a little sweet, but it's a very, very healthy thing to add, like honey. But honey's a little too sweet for me, especially now I'm going through this. I haven't had honey. But that's the cinnamon gives you the flavor without the sugar. So it's a very healthy, and it's extremely healthy. The ginger, the cocoa from the dark chocolate, and the honey, the lemon, those are all extremely healthy that the doctors never want you to know about. So that's what I put in my coffee and my tea. So silver is going through the roof. So that's why I'm itching to get there. It's 1:00. We'll probably end this about by 1:30 and then run to the silver if he has, which I'm hoping. But again, I can buy 20 ounces, even if it's $30 or $600. Who cares? Only because you're buying a $2,000 coin for $28. It's like, I don't give a fuck what it costs because I know that's where it's headed. That's the difference between our class and all the other idiots out there. They don't know that's where it's going, and they don't tell you to buy it. Go buy Microsoft stock, which is all going to go down. And that's what happened. I was watching something on Meta, the Facebook one, and how Zuckerberg lost billions, and I was just smiling, going, what a fucking idiot. He came out with a new program that's like, I don't know, what do you call it? It's like fantasy. Everybody's a cartoon, and there's no demand for it. Nobody wants it, and everybody's going to TikTok, and Facebook's gone, and the advertisers are leaving because he's too political and all that shit. So I'm loving that because I think he stole the idea, and those idiots sued him. I really don't like the idiots for suing them. You're at Harvard. What are you doing suing somebody? You're too stupid to give him your idea, and then he ran with it, which is nothing more than MySpace. So that's what happens. Anyway, so silver should go through the roof. Go buy as much as you can. But again, I'm putting a time limit on it. Now that the Russians exposed with the physical gold, that's the black swan. Now, see, it's not like, my coffee mug. Well, if I don't buy it now, I'll buy it next month or in a month later. You can't. It's A, it's going to be gone, and B, it's going to be a lot more money if you can find it. That's why the time limit. That's why you've got to make the sacrifice, buy it now, go deal with the girls later, as I do. I'm like, sorry, I can't help you now. It's all in gold and silver, which I am not selling at these ridiculously low prices. When they go up, I'll be happy to send you some gold and silver at considerably higher prices. So that's really what is going on. So yes, silver's going through the roof. It's all broken. The COMEX is phony. It's run by JP Morgan, who's the biggest crook in the world, next to maybe the Rockefellers are up there, and George Soros, the biggest crooks in the world. So be careful with that. But it's funny watching Madoff. JP Morgan was involved with that and the gold derivative. He's the biggest crook in the world, this JP Morgan guy. And he pays off all the politicians, so nobody prosecutes him. Oh my God, this guy is big fucking trouble. And he probably paid off the SEC because they can never find Madoff guilty. And see, it's funny is the guy in Boston's an idiot. He's thinking, how could they not find anything? Not putting two and two together that it was paid. They were paid off not to say anything. You idiots! They paid off the SEC, whoever's in charge, to say Madoff's fine. This is the part that blows my mind. How stupid these guys are not to put two and two together. What do we see? We see a lateral play in the NFL, right? I think it was Pittsburgh, Cleveland, or something like that, and they lateral all the way back in the end zone, and the team scores a touchdown that fucks the under. What do we immediately say? It's fixed. We don't say, oh, what a stupid play, or how could they do that? We go, it's fixed. We go to the bottom line of what really happened, and we know that was a fixed play. That had to be because it screwed the over. And why are you running a lateral play that never works? It only worked on a kickoff because they had 9 option quarterbacks who knew how to deal with it. Not linemen don't know how to deal with this option play. It doesn't work. Just throw a bomb and hope for pass interference is your better chance than doing the option play. So I know it cost New England, right? They did it against Oakland, and it cost them the playoffs. So Bill Belichick, the smartest coach in the world, really? Yeah, you can have Belichick and fucking Patricia and all those idiots, that Josh McDaniels, all the New England coaches. Yeah, they're real good. They all suck. It was all Tom Brady. And who's in the playoffs? Tom Brady at fucking Tampa Bay with the coach that couldn't coach a high school team, and Belichick's out. He couldn't even deal with Buffalo because he doesn't have a quarterback. So he ain't the greatest coach in sliced bread, and I get tired of hearing that shit by idiots who don't know what they're talking about. Tony Romo to be the one. I found his fumble on the in the playoff game. I loved it. So Tony Romo sitting there. They're going to kick a field goal to beat Seattle in the playoff game. He fumbles the snap, and I go, there's your Tony Romo. That's him. That's Jalen Hurts. That's Trevor Lawrence. That's Bill Belichick. All right. Which girl's bothering me now? It is a girl from Russia. Anyway, where was I? So, oh yeah, Tony Romo. Anyway, this whole thing, it shows you how just a second. Well, what's been the problem? You guys doubt that it's going up, or you doubt what I'm saying is true because I'm contrarian. I talk in truth, and you guys aren't used to that. So if everybody says, Belichick's the greatest coach, and I say he's not, I'm contrarian. If you guys like Trevor Lawrence and I don't, you're like, well, what does he know? So if everybody says gold and silver are not good and they don't go up in price, and I say buy them, you look at me like, can I trust him? Is he Madoffing me? Our new word. He's a Madoff. The difference is I'm not selling you anything, and I'm not taking your money. I'm trying to make you money without taking a penny. So this is what we have. So you've got to realize what I'm telling you. I try to get into explanation. So there's so many corrupt people like a JP Morgan who pays off the government so he doesn't get prosecuted. He's the one keeping the gold and silver price down, but it's blowing up. We've got the Russians coming up. So that's what you have to understand, is that's what goes on. And we try to get to the bottom of it, knowing, oh, wait, they paid off the SEC is the most logical. But these guys go, how could the SEC miss this? Because they were paid off. They didn't miss it. They saw it. They knew it. And they just, ignored it, going, oh, wait, Madoff's guy, Crowhauer, paid us $5 million. He's innocent, everybody. And that's the point that most people are missing here. They were paid off. JP Morgan ignored his checking account, and the four guys were the real Ponzi people. using Madoff at it, and Madoff keeps his silence, saying I did it on my own because he knows they would kill his family, but all the family died anyway. Yes, last week was crazy when the Jets-Dolphin game ended in a safety from a lateral play with 0 seconds left in the game, which as a result, Miami won by 5. Well, it didn't help the over-under, which was I had the game under, but yes, that's my point. Anytime you see that, it's clearly a fix. But I didn't see the money really move like to 3.5, or it was mostly 3 all week. And that's what you got with Skylar Thompson. Does she have silver and gold too? My one in Ukraine does not. I haven't been able to go to Russia because of the war. So she's getting some when I can visit her. But at this point, no. But I told her I'm buying her more. So I usually go to the store and I show her, look, I just bought 20 ounces. No, it's not all hers, but I'm showing her that, this is what we're doing. My other one, yes, when I meet her and she can get out of the Ukraine, she trains to Poland, and then we met in like Lisbon, I bring her gold and silver. So she has, I bring her a half ounce, which she knows is worth $1,000, and I bring her some silver, which she knows is going to go up to $1,000. And she knows all that, so she does have some, and she knows it's going up. So keep in mind, when I buy 20 ounces of silver, I'm thinking I'm going to need to give it to my girls. I'm going to need it. How much is enough? I initially had 37 Highland Mint silver, Emmett Smith, Barry Sanders, Joe Montana that I had. And I said, I got enough. I got 37. And I bought gold. And I bought 10 ounces and 20 ounces and kept building my gold. And then I kept watching my guys, and they kept saying, buy silver because it's so undervalued and it's going to go. Because I was like, well, is silver going to go? I knew gold was going to go up. I'm a gold standard guy, right? But then I'm understanding silver is going to go up. So for $25 for an ounce of silver, it's a fucking joke. I mean, it's the biggest joke you can ever have. It's like buying steaks now for a penny that are worth $20 a pound. Well, the difference is obviously it's gonna go up, but it's the idea that silver is so undervalued that it's a no-brainer. You got to buy it because you're looking at something that's going to be $2,000 an ounce, especially now that Russia's saying, "Hey, we're having a physical market, and it's gold and silver." Believe me, Putin's got as much silver as he's got gold in his little fortress there. So it's a no-brainer to buy, and therefore I keep buying it. And I didn't know what I needed. I got to 100. I got to 200. I'm at 400. What am I doing? I'm running and buying another 20 today. We got to get Bobby to buy the 20s at a time, or 25 Maple Leafs. You can buy Maple Leafs in 25, and they're cheaper than the other. But I put it on my credit cards. I got fucked at work because I thought they were going to pay me for relocation and I'd pay it back, and they didn't pay me properly. They stole from me, which really pissed me off. So I have a little bit on my credit cards but it's gold, so I don't care. And hopefully the credit cards get reset once they come out with the new money. So I'm kind of hoping for that also. I still believe they'll get reset because they're obviously going to come out with new money. Nobody wants this money, and they're going to have to come out with money backed by gold. And that's got to erase all the credit cards statements because that money's gone. Anyway, with that being said, so silver, it's an asset that you use in the car, on the electric batteries and the cell phones and the computers. So there's a use for it that gold doesn't really have, but it's also money. It's legal money. Gold and silver are the only legal money and the only money in the world. Don't fucking think Bitcoin's money because it ain't. And don't think baseball cards are money. They're assets. They're investment. Stocks are assets and investments like Mickey Mantle. Do you want Mickey Mantle or Microsoft? I want Mickey Mantle. So you got to understand the difference between money and investment. Stocks are not money. You cannot, You cannot go in with your Microsoft and say, I want to buy coffee and a bread and a milk. You can't do it. Now, this is what is needed when you take your money to get this, to then go to the grocery store, go to the bank, go on vacation. Then you need this to do it, but you're using the gold to get that to then go. So people are kind of naive, not quite understanding. The two biggest questions I have is, well, will there be a demand when gold hits 50,000? Well, what do you think? Then the second question is, well, how do I buy coffee with gold? So gold goes up to 10 grand. How do I buy coffee with it? You don't. Do you buy coffee with a Rolex? No. You sell the Rolex, get the money, and use the money. So this is how you go grocery storing and hoteling and eating and all these things you want to do is with this. You trade the gold for this. All I'm saying is the gold's going to go from 2 grand to 50 grand. So that's really what you want to do. And that's what you need to understand. You're going to trade it in. You know, if your house went up from 100 to 200 grand, are there buyers? Yeah. Did you make money? Yeah. It was an investment, but it's not money. So you could sell it, but it's hard to sell a house. You can't really sell a house for the money. Although what you do is you take out that little mortgage on it, or a homeowner's loan, and you get a little percentage, and then that's how you get money if you needed it. A lot of people like pay for a wedding. They do a home equity loan. So I got 200,000. My house is worth. I've got 100,000 paid off, or maybe I bought it at 100. It's worth 2. So I got 100,000 in equity in the house. So what I'm going to do is take a loan out, and I can pay for the wedding. You know, that's I wouldn't even have a big wedding. It's a waste of money. Go on a nice vacation, have your friends over for a Super Bowl party, and call it the wedding or something. But to spend 50 grand on a wedding, I mean, you know, if you're rich, yeah. But if you're average guys like us, you can't do that. Anyway, so that's what happens. So the gold will be sold for paper, and the paper will then be used to buy the goods and services, not the gold, but the gold value will get you more paper. That's the idea. So silver, again, is going to go through the roof. That's what it's going to do. It's what it has to do. So in other words, that's why you want to buy it at 25. Now, what I'm going with Bobby is saying is buy it now, because it's not going to sit at 25 much longer, because what Russia and China are doing with the whole new currency backed by gold, they're buying physical gold. The whole thing is spelling, wait a minute, Russia's buying gold, price is going to go up. I better buy it because it's going up for them. It's going up for me. And they want to buy it. Shows you there's demand. When there's demand, price goes up. If it's Tesla and there's no demand, the price goes down. So you can see how the market works, right? More demand, price goes with it. Price always goes where demand is. That's why gold is up here and silver is up here, but the price is down there. That's why everybody's like, this doesn't make sense. It's price fixed. That's how you get to the Madoffs, and that's how you get to the SEC was paid off, is again, it doesn't make sense. If the supply demand doesn't make sense and the market doesn't make sense, it's fixed. That's all you need to know. This doesn't make sense. Why is gold not priced higher? There's no demand. Oh, no. There's plenty of fucking demand for it. That's the point. The price is there. That's why I'm saying buy it, because the demand's through the roof. The price is down on the bottom, and it can't stay low because the demand keeps going up. It's got to force the price up. Same in silver, gold, any of that shit. But stick to gold and silver because it is money. And what you're going to do as the value of the dollar diminishes to zero, which happens 100% of the time, you're going to need something to eat and something to buy food and clothing and energy and your heating. That's why you need the gold and silver, because you're going to cash that in for the real, whatever currency they're going to. Now, they're not going to just go away from currency and not have anything. Doesn't happen. They'll go to a new currency. and they'll sell it as, you know what, it's, with the inflation, we need to come out with a new currency to protect you because we fucked up and we're going to fuck up again. Unless it's backed by gold, it's the same shit. But again, you keep going with you keep going, but you just understand that's what's happening. So with that said, that's why gold and silver's through the roof. Is that'll happen. So that's how you prepare for it. So how much is enough gold and silver? That's what you don't know, and that's what you kind of look at as, well, I don't know. I thought 100 ounces was enough. I got 400. I probably want 1,000. I mean, it's probably like I'll just keep buying it until until I can, because if it's a $2,000 asset and you can get it for 25, how do you realize that's enough? Shit, I can buy more at 25 an ounce, 30 an ounce, more buffaloes at 28 an ounce. I mean, it becomes like, and now we can see the reality. It's going to 2,000. Now, I always knew it would, but now I can reinforce it with Russia buying physical, making a physical market, making the gold priced at physical, not at derivative. So we needed to understand derivatives from physical, paper from physical, which I've taught you over and over and over. So you should know the difference. Here's Russia now with the physical, and then here's this going to zero, because nobody in their right mind is going to buy it now. So when it starts going up, nobody's dipping it down because they don't want to get held with it. I mean, these banks are going to lose $1 trillion in the derivatives because they are shorting a commodity. They're shorting gold to go down, but it's going up. Well, their derivatives are going to expire and they're going to be out all this money because there's nobody there to buy it. Sort of like Bernie Madoff at the end. So what happens? All the housing crisis happens in 2008. Everybody needs money. He gets $1 billion in orders for money, and he doesn't have any money to give out. So he goes to his guys in charge, and they're going, "Fuck you, Bernie. We're not giving it." He goes to this woman in Austria who's also in on the scam, and she says, "I'm not going in either." And so let's parallel that. So it's perfect, this Madoff thing. So let's parallel that. The guys who had the money, who were really running the Ponzi, are saying, we don't want to give you any more money because we know we're not going to get it back. And that's what's happening to the derivatives. They short it to keep the price down. And now there's the people with the money who are running the Ponzi scheme are saying, no, we're not gonna bail you out. You're fucked. So what they're doing is, knowing they're fucked. So let's say Madoff actually had money, he would then go buy the gold and silver because he knows he's fucked. And that's what these banks are doing, is buying the gold and silver. And now there's no inventory, and now the price is going to go through the roof because there's nobody pushing it down, because nobody on the other end is buying it. So the scheme was, they're pushing it down. Somebody was buying the derivatives to keep them whole, and they were making billions of dollars on the more they sold. Let's say it was $100 a thing. So they did all these. Just a second. So when you've got the players out of it, that's why it's blowing up, right? So once the four big guys for Madoff and the woman said, I'm not going to help you because I know I'm going to lose, that's when he got sunk. Same thing here. Now, JP Morgan's doing 1 million ounces of silver that he doesn't have because there isn't that much silver in the world. If he shorts it, nobody's going to come up the other end and buy it. And if nobody comes up to buy it, he's fucked. And that's what's happened. He's fucked. So now he's buying all the physical. That's why there is no physical. It's being drained down. And now when people want it, it will not. COMEX is blown up, which is Bobby's point. With COMEX blown up, now we get into a physical market, and then we've got supply and price equaling demand. Price goes through the roof. You'll never see $28, $30 an ounce for silver ever in your lifetime. I'm running there now, hoping it's there. And after that, maybe it'll be there during the week. I'll never see it again. You'll see 2,000 in front of it, and that's it. And it's not going down from there. And don't piss yourself off by missing this. I bet nobody thought Madoff would get caught because they paid the SEC and JP Morgan off. And it was a beautiful scam because nobody's going to shine a light on them. SEC is going to come in and say, no, everything's fine. And they did it for 2001, 2002, 2005, 2007. 5 times they went in there and it was always fine. And if this guy's so stupid that he thinks that they didn't find anything versus they were paid off, and then they went to Congress, and Congress is like, you guys are inept. You couldn't find this, and they gave you 30 red flags. All you had to do is look at one. You don't think they looked at one? Are they that stupid that they didn't? Well, he's going 100%. That's impossible. If somebody audited me and I say I do 100% in football picks, I'd be in jail in 5 seconds because that's impossible. And you would know that without even looking. But I don't say that. But if somebody says I pick every stock right, that's impossible. You can't do it because there's too many variables, which is why I talk people out of doing a mathematical formula to pick football games. There's too many fucking variables. That's why we lose games. Something happens that shouldn't happen. Like in the Giants-Minnesota game, all of a sudden it's Cousins gets injured, the game goes under. Well, how do you fucking put that in a formula when we're betting it over because we know the defense sucks and everybody's bad? So we know that. So we think this is what's the probability going to happen. Same thing in stocks. You probability think. Now, here's my view of stocks right now. The probability is they're all crashing. That's about 99% probability based on inflation and the higher interest rates, based on ruining the money, based on fucking everybody over who's buying stocks except for JP Morgan, who's printing money, putting it into the stocks with these crooks, right? With the Russian mafia and all these other mafias who are making money on it, the Rockefellers and whoever else. That's the ones in stock. We're all going to crash because the market is – so the price is here, the market's here. They're artificially keeping it up. But what's going to happen? People are the company's earnings are going to drop. People are going to start lowering it. Then they're going to look over here and they're going to see, oh, Russia's buying gold. Gold just hit 2,000. Gold just hit 5,000. Silver just hit 1,000. Wait a minute. I'm going to sell my stocks and get it on the gold and silver before I can't, because the panic will start happening. They're going to freak out and go, oh, shit, I better get into silver now. I never thought it would go over 50. It's at 500 or it's at 700. I better get the fuck in before, well, it won't stay. It'll come down, and then it goes higher because it's not coming down. Once people realize that, they sell their stocks because that's all they have. And, that's where they go. And, look at Tesla. They're lowering. Okay, so let's take a action reaction. Tesla lowers their price on their cars. What does that do? That lowers their stock because their earnings are dropping. They're basing it. They're basing it on that. They're basing earnings on that they can sell it for that. So their cost, let's say, is $20,000 a car, and they're selling them for $60,000 because they're electric, and their cost went up to $30,000. But we're going to make $30,000 a car times however many cars. this is my forecast of how much earnings Tesla's going to make. Then reality hits, nobody's buying it. So now what does he do? He lowers price, which lowers profit. So it costs 30. Now he's only getting 40 for it, if he even gets that. His sales volume's down. So he's not even, you got to cover fixed costs. That's the problem with the automotives. They have big plants and machinery and equipment. So you got to cover your fixed cost. That's why you have to have a break even and sell so many units to cover fixed costs as well as the steel. The steel is the variable cost. The tires are variable because you only buy them when you need the vehicle. But the plant and equipment and the electricity, that's the fixed cost. So I need to sell 20,000 units to cover the plant, the machinery, the payroll, the electricity. And so if my volume drops, not only am I not making the variable cost, but I can't cover my fixed cost. What happens to his stock? So I'm going to make $5 million. Well, now I'm going to make $1 million. And my forecast is I'm probably only going to make $500,000 because my volume's down, my cost is up, and I can't raise my prices. Ergo, bye-bye Tesla, you're out of the business because you're in the business to make 30%. You can't do it. You have to fold up shop. That's what's going to happen to the stock market. The stock market crashes because there's no companies with earnings except for Coca-Cola and Pepsi because they sell these little $2 and $3 food items that everybody needs. That's it. Your bigger companies all go out of business because they can't make the 20 or 30%, or they run a negative, and then the government, our money, bails them out, which shouldn't happen. There shouldn't be bailouts. If you can't run a fucking business, you shouldn't be in business. You shouldn't get bailed out. That's the stupidest thing. That's a communist thing, right? That's the state bailing out their buddies, and then they get a kickback for that. Again, that's the lobbyists. That's the kickback that we hate so much. Bobby, having a hot ramen soup. I recommend you get some ramen, Professor. If there are restaurants that sell it where you live, Raymond and listening to class. I don't eat a lot of soup because of the salt, but I will get chicken noodle soup once in a while. Or chili I like a lot. You just got to be careful with the salt. But the body gets rid of the salt pretty good. Anyway, so that's really the game. That's why the market is not the place to be. The dollars are going to zero, so you don't want 100 grand in the bank. If the bank stays open, let's say they do, they'll switch currencies on you, and that 100 grand is now worth 50 grand, right? So you've lost 50 grand, plus the inflation buys you less. So the inflation is a huge tax and they're stealing money from you basically, right? They're taking your money. You have $100. Well, now it's only worth 50, even though we have the same little picture of the president. We have the same 100 on it. Good luck finding $100, buying $100 worth of goods or services with it. You can't. That's the real problem. You can't go to the grocery store and things are cheaper. Things are more expensive. Unless the market says Cheerios $5, the market's $3, and the market says, fuck you. I'm not paying you $5 for Cheerios. I'll buy something else, or I won't eat cereal, or I'll find another cereal. I'll buy the no brand cereal, Cheerios. I don't care. I'm hungry. It doesn't matter. What does Cheerios do? Oh, now, and I've seen this. Now it goes on sale. Oreos go up to $5. Then I see 2 for $5. Oreos realizes they can't sell it for $5. Puts a sale. Now you buy 2 of them. So you basically pay $2.50 each. The question is, do you need 2 fucking packs of Oreos? You'll be a diabetic in 20 minutes. That's the problem with that. I don't see the dark chocolate on sale too much, but you will see that happen, and that's the key. So time's running out because I got to get to the silver store. I got another hour. Okay, so we'll keep going a little bit more. I'll give you another 15 minutes. Don't worry, I'll be on tomorrow. And maybe I'll have eaten by then. Are you giving me an ounce of gold to wait one more day, Bobby? Is that 10 ounces of silver to go one more day? I need some incentive. Bobby, yeah, just like the goofy bastard who came in class telling the professor you lost after the Packers-Lions game, we all know it was the right pick, but fucking Green Bay sucks and didn't show up. But we had the reason. First of all, it was Green Bay at home, Rodgers' last game, and they needed it for the playoffs. So, what the fuck? How do you bet then? What goes through your mind to bet the game? If that isn't a variable that makes you bet the game, what makes you bet the game? Then you have to rethink your whole variable of, what am I looking at to make the play? Why am I betting San Francisco over Seattle? Why am I betting Buffalo? Okay, Buffalo's the free play. Why? Tagliabue was out. It's a playoff game. It's at home. Buffalo plays much better at home. I've given you 12 reasons. Now, we got to be careful because the line's 13 and the fixing. So maybe they win by 10, but that's okay. In teaser world, we're laying 7, and that's all we care about. But that's the thing with these guys. This is the problem of the frustration we have. People of my level, I have a very high skill level in this, and it's frustrating because you got to deal with idiots. And like when I say, I'm at the hot tub, have you bought your gold? They don't get it. They don't understand. And you just, so you know what? I don't even bring it up anymore. I'm like, go lose your ass. I don't give a fuck. If you don't want to listen to me and trust me and respect me that I know what I'm doing, or at least get to know me, how do you know this, and let me explain it, you're on your own. Go listen. Let the government, let Biden help you out. Yeah, see how that works. Anyway, that's what I'm looking at. And, so that's the whole picture. So, yeah, silver, gold, going through the roof. And I gave you the reason. We always knew it would. COMEX is blown up, but now the Russians are buying physical is out there. And he sees the Russians are buying physical. You won't read about it on, the U.S. channels, but that's real what's happening. And if you watch that video, he'll explain it. And he gets a little technical that I kind of go, what the fuck's he talking about? He likes talking about the ringed-in silo fences. And I'm like, that's not a finance. What he means is the fix. So the 4 guys who fixed Madoff, they're going around the 4 guys. And that's what he kind of means. So the people fixing COMEX, people are saying, fuck you. And they're buying it around, not in that loop. And that's what's blowing up COMEX. So that's what's happening. But again, it's all market driven. So the grocery store, so as your money, so what's happening? We'll put it in an economics term. Here's the US dollar. Here's the demand. All these countries are getting out of it. Demand's dropping, demand's dropping, demand's dropping. This is the reverse of gold. US dollar here, economic demand here. What's going to happen? Price will have to settle with the demand. Gold demand here, price will go to gold. Price always goes to demand. That's what the market is. Now, if you don't use the market, which is what the communists try to do, they just raised my girl's rent. The government did it, not the owner of the apartment. If there is an owner of the apartment, it could be Putin owns all the apartments. They just said, we're raising your rent. So her rent got raised. And that's what happens. But this is the problem when the government does it, communism versus the free market doing it, where we can fight back and say no. That's why they're trying to kind of blow us up, right? They're kind of saying we want the digital dollar, or which they'll never have, and then they're blowing this up because they think that will force us to then go to a market, a Keynesian communist view. So when you hear Keynesians or MMT, it's communism. Run fast and run far. You don't want anything to do with it. You only want Austrian economics, classical economics, invisible hand, free market, Adam Smith. That's what you want. That's us. That's our freedom is in that. The communist, you understand communism's government run. You don't have a say. You're going to buy this electric car for $60,000 and you're going to have to, or you're going to take the bus. That's Russia. Is that what you want? No, nobody wants that. The Russians don't want it. They're all fleeing. So be careful with all that. That's not what you want, but you're being sold a bill of goods. When your children go to school, What are they being taught? Socialism and communism and Keynesian, and they don't teach Austrian. They don't teach gold. Gold is your freedom. Gold gets you out of that system. You can't have communism with the gold standard. Russia's doing it, but I don't think the citizens have it. Putin has it and the government has it. So the government's smart enough to know about gold. The Chinese government's smart enough, but do the people have gold? That's your way out. That's why I push it. That gold and silver equal freedom. That's the point. That's Austrian economics. Get on the gold standard. It's better for the individual. We're about individuals. The Keynesians and the MMTs, which is exactly the same thing, are communists, are about the government running things and running your life. And you don't want that, believe me. It doesn't work. Why do we want to live in a prison? Who the fuck wants that? So no, that is not the way to go. That's why I'm pushing more gold and silver and more. You better buy it now because we see it's about to go through the roof. Now we have the reason. We have the black swan starting. Wait till China announces they're buying physical, and wait till they announce they have 40,000 tons of it, and wait till the new dollar. So as the demand, so here's the BRICS countries. They're going, here's the US dollar, and the BRICS countries are down here. Then we reverse it, and the BRICS countries are here going, this is what we want. This dollar backed by gold is what notice they're doing a digital dollar and a dollar backed by gold. So the BRICS countries, and it's growing, are now looking at this dollar backed by gold, and that's here. And the US dollar is down here. Nobody wants the US dollar, which it's the fat, ugly girl in the room that nobody wants. There's no demand. It goes away. That's what's happening. There's no demand. This is going away no matter how much JP Morgan cries. He's now Madoff. There's nothing he can do to save it. It's gone. Now, the advice is to buy the gold and silver now because nobody's going to afford $50,000 for an ounce of gold or $2,000 for an ounce of silver. That's the point. And I don't see silver in half ounces, quarter ounces very often. I do see gold. I've got some tenth of an ounce. I've got some quarter ounces. I've got half ounces and ounces. And I strongly if I go see a quarter ounce of gold at the guy's store, I'll buy it, or a half ounce. I don't know because it's going to be $2,100 to buy an eagle right now. It was $1,800 to buy the Cougaran. It's going to be $2,000, $2,100 to buy now, which is fine if I need it. But I think I have a lot of gold. I obviously you can never have enough. I wish I started saving in the 70s, and when it was legal to buy again, and I would have bought. Then maybe I'd have a ton by now, and we'd be doing this from Hawaii or somewhere. Unfortunately, I didn't. But then, kind of poetic justice, I do have a mantle card and an ore card, which are now worth a lot more money when graded. So maybe I make it up that way from all the ounces of gold. So that'll be the other thing. But that's what I keep trying to explain, and I think you're getting it. The football is a way to invest, to make money. To the mean to the end is the gold and the silver. Money is a means to the end. Football, the cards, the Rolexes are means to the end. The end's the gold and silver. Not money, but the gold and silver money, not the paper fiat. Once you have that, then you're going to use it to buy things, but you'll be able to buy a nice Mercedes with an ounce of gold that you paid $1,800 for. How about that? That's what I'm explaining to you is what will happen in my crystal ball that I have been taught. So that's why I push it. Off you go. So I'm going to end. I'm going to go buy silver. It's 1:45. I got an hour. If he has any, and that's the other thing. Hopefully he still has silver. I'll buy 20 and off I go. So have a nice day. Good luck. Again, the picks, the Niners, San Diego, Buffalo. That's your free pick. Giants midi over, Cincinnati and Tampa. Your upsets are probably the Giants and Tampa, but not really sure. And that sets up a Butte next week, Buffalo, Cincinnati, San Diego, Kansas City. It'll be Tampa, Philly, and it'll be if Minnie wins Frisco, they'll get their ass kicked. If it's the Giants, they'll get their ass kicked by Frisco. They'll go to Philadelphia and get their ass kicked. Maybe they'll use Jarvis Webb today as their quarterback. He looked good last week, didn't he? Unbelievable. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Go buy your silver and gold now, please. I don't know what other proof I can show you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm off and then swim and then I'm going to fucking finally eat because I'm still okay, but the rush I'll get from buying the silver will trigger some food. All right, everybody. Great day. Good luck on the weekend. And I will be back tomorrow and we'll talk about what happened today in the things, what happens the games tomorrow, and if I read anything on gold and silver. Okay, thank you very much. Have a great day. www.teaserking.com. $100 gets you all my playoff games through the Super Bowl, all the locks and goody ones. All right, thank you very much. Have a great day.